You're just in time. Saved you a seat for the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. And you can't have a male self improvement podcast without talking about semen retention. I'm not even sure. Am I qualified to, do a welcome to my TED talk about retaining your seed? I mean, I'm only a few weeks in myself. Am I in week 3? I might be getting close to week 4. I may be fast approaching 1 month. Just straight retaining. And the importance of it is really broken down into an elevation of your overall quality of life. And I know that sounds really dramatic to say because guys who don't believe in semen retention will look at me right now and be like, I literally work all day. Like I I'm responsible, like I wake up, okay, I wake myself up and I get there, I go to my job, I do a good job. Well, clearly, my man is not fired yet. I hope he never gets fired. But okay, valuable enough at work. Your work wants to keep you around, so you keep on doing it for however long. And the weeks and the months and the years go by. And if a man is, you see, semen retention is useful all around, but it is especially useful for single men. And so, in my hypothetical example right here, for a single man, and he's being responsible. He's just being a tax-paying citizen. Okay, he's doing what he needs to do in life. We're not even gonna, okay. I promise I will try and take it there to his hopes and dreams, and waking up the king within and ruling his reality, donning the crown, climbing the mountain, running the marathon. Okay, sailing the voyage, the process. I'm gonna try to get there. But right now, no, we're just talking about your average bro that is not being a degenerate. You couldn't say that about this guy. No, he's holding his job down, paying his bills, he's making ends meet. And it's like, and he's doing in when you're doing that all alone, what more could you ask from this guy? And so that's kind of the basis of the justification a lot of men will use. I'm not even bothering anyone. Why is this guy talking to me about retaining my semen? Whose business is that? Because that is I mean, I'll give him that. That is a pretty private activity. It's not as though I'm trying to pry into your personal sex life. I don't know if that's what you would call it. Maybe like a self sex life. Am I allowed to say that word? Hopefully it's fine because I'm on two, but I'm gonna have to roll with it tonight. And so it's become, I mean, especially the younger that you discover it, and the age bracket is pretty mind-boggling to look at, just in terms of the data, in terms of the stats. I believe for my generation, it was high school, early high school, right around puberty. And that's kind of understandable. That's when, right? So many new changes to your physiology as a male, and everything is brand new. And yeah, so Spider-Man, you a Spider-Man guy? Tobey Maguire? Like, that's literally what it is. Okay. Is Toby my favorite Spider-Man? I believe he is. No hate on Tom and uh oh god, the one in between them. They're both dope. But Toby has a special place in my heart for the Spider-Man movies. And if you remember in that movie, when he wakes up as Spider-Man, he just like, oh my god, this is crazy. That's literally what happens to all of us as men on puberty. I'm sure you remember your puberty days. I definitely remember mine. And so your hormones are firing on all cylinders. This is all sorts of feelings that you're just not used to. Cooties almost overnight transforms into Where art thou, my Juliet? It's a really radical transformation in a very short amount of time. And from those days, you know, Lord, enter the form of the female, okay? The body of the woman. And from there on, you and me kind of just we settle our gaze on one of the most gorgeous sights any man could behold. I believe could we meet there at the very least tonight, bro? Okay, that I believe that is agreed upon by most men, especially how should I say, especially men of culture. That is okay across the globe. This is not even just American men, just the appreciation of female beauty. But then, okay, it's way more than that. Oh, okay, if even I'm sure God very much knows all about this. Oh, if it were just about appreciating women, but it's definitely way more than that. Okay, the art of semen retention begins with the acknowledgement. You and I, okay, bro, we are not sitting there appreciating. This is very intentional. Okay, I am seeking out material, okay, so simply because I have the capabilities and the capacity to do so. Remember, we have so many single guys that are living their lives and they're not doing anything wrong, they're not hurting anybody. But I'm taking the time tonight. We're going deep, super deep into this because the whole idea is how harmful it is to the self. That's why. That's why it ties into self improvement. It is, but you see, you have to give me a minute. But it's not even that it ties into self improvement. It's kind of it weaves itself into all of self improvement. If you are as serious as I safely assume you are about living your best life, doing the best stuff, doing all the best things for yourself, actually experiencing your hopes and your dreams and your very best outcomes. Okay, being able to witness the pinnacle of your own potential and grow into the best man you were always capable of being. One of the number one blockades to doing that is a lot of time. It's a lot of it's actually not that much energy. So I don't know if I can say energy. Because it's just so many guys will engage with that specific activity to unwind. It's it's almost like it's like the male version, the male specific version of melatonin. This is just it's I'm winding down. It's that time of the night. Okay, so this is when the appreciation goes into just very how should I say, uh, intense and fiery desire, you know, according to the specific tastes. All right. And just parameters that any man uh, who is so familiar with his own sexuality, he is able to find exactly, precisely, okay, that kind of content on the internet. It is so available. And so now I believe we've gotten to the point where it has become such a staple, okay, for guy culture. Okay, it's not seen as anything out of the ordinary. And that right there is kind of the beginning of the problem. Because as I continue to paint this picture for you, right? It's like life is stressful and it gets tough, okay? You Just because a guy is doing okay, like once again, has a job, he's working, been working it for however long, paying his bills and whatnot. Maybe I will bump up his comfort level just a little bit to say this job of his not only takes care of his basic necessities, it will give him even a little bit more than that. Okay, so he's got a little surplus to spend on whatever. Okay, like, oh, could he be doing better? Sure, way better. I mean, what guy could not be doing better, right? All right. You want to talk about just in terms of limits. I mean, there really isn't any. If you're always trying to grow, it's going to be really hard to do that. When at the very first sign of this biological whim that seems so uncontrollable, because when the desire grips you, it it takes a hold of you in such a way you must sate it. You have to fill this appetite, right? And it's one of, I believe, it's one of the greatest weaknesses of all men. This is a very particular, you know, want, need. It's both. It's just such a strong desire. That desire, I believe, yes, it absolutely does come from nature. It is not even, it's not the desire itself that's a problem because you can do a lot with that. The desire can be fuel. Maybe you already see where I'm going to start heading now. Because just because you can indulge in this habit of masturbation and you, whenever you feel as though it's necessary, you will. So many guys, now remember, I'm talking about that male culture where so many guys, they see it as, okay, this is a part of my day. It's just something I do. It's a daily thing for me. They don't really think anything of it. Now, could that be damaging? Could that be harmful? The science would tell you, biologically speaking, no. At least from my own personal research, that's what I keep getting as an answer. I can't, in terms of, I mean, hey, by all means, post it, like comment, but also post it if you want to. The link, the article, the URL. Like, I'm so curious. By all means, bro. I have not been able to personally find anywhere, like, in terms of the medical field, in which I can find anyone saying, "Oh, wait. Okay, so if you do it if you do it like once a day, these are the consequences." No. Okay, this is very conspiratorial, but I mean, that can't be a coincidence, can it, bro? Really, no one is making a peep about the potential harm it could have on you. Any man that would partake on a daily basis. Cue semen retention when these two words, okay, enter the chat. Then your first knee jerk reaction, no pun intended, is I I don't want to give up something that is helping me more comfortably live my life. Now that's so tricky right there because the current comfort level of your life may have nothing to do with this idea, with the reality of your very best one. I want to try and really stay here for a little bit because if possible, I want to paint this as clearly as I can. Because there, on the surface, as you're just looking at it, the appearance of it, there really does not seem to be anything wrong with this picture. What is so bad about a guy who is enjoying corn and he's popping one off, and this is happening? How about we'll just keep the numbers low because it gets pretty crazy. Okay, I mean, with what is this? What is this underground gooner culture? I'm not even going to. Well, we might get there, but I'm staying away for now. Oh my god, it's so. It's actually it it's jaw dropping stuff. Not in a good way. Okay, but we will be humble right here and say 1 to 2 times a day. All right, and that's just kind of life. Any man who has retained for a significant amount of time, and I'll tell you right now, I will be the first to say my first few days were like, this is BS. I am okay. I am making myself suffer for no reason. It's just because this is why I said tricky earlier, because it seems so inconsequential. Only when you begin to stick with it do you start to understand there is actually so much you are depriving yourself of. See, this is what I mean, okay? I'm trying to make it super clear right here. The current comfort level of your life. And that could be the normal rate at which you relieve yourself of stress, okay? To these highly addictively stimulating image. Okay, like come on, man. Like we gotta be extra. We'll keep it real here at the Blizzard, man, but extra real right now. I think in a normal sense, what is a normal sense? When a woman just walks by, what am I, Zoomer King saying? IRL, okay? Yes, no, not on the screen, not in a headset, okay? If you have headphones on, you are still outside, just in the real world. A woman that you are attracted to walks by. How hard is it? Oh no, not you. The difficulty of not looking at her. That's what I meant. How difficult is it to not look, to not glance, to not gaze, to not pay attention at all? Oh, okay. Save all my super ultra giga sigma alpha chads possibly vibing for this episode tonight. Okay, you guys are exempt, but for the rest of us mortal men, it's lovely. I'm saying it. It's so dope. I'm just like, this is, you know what I see? I see this is why we do anything. This is why, like us as guys, this is how the world turns. They say women make the world go round. Yes, they absolutely do. Because you know, um, all right, this is a male self improvement podcast, so it's kind of obvious. But at the same time, men build, men do stuff, men invent, men create, men think about stuff, men try to solve problems. All right, I'm gonna build this house. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna invent this thing. I'm gonna go and fight these bad guys and fight this war and like build these and build a society and and build a government and whatnot and come up with legislation and okay and like let me like think of like do these calculations and let me just mess around and come up with quantum physics and like the guys do cool stuff. Excellent. That's awesome. I'm not so sure they would okay, throughout the long history, ever since males have been around, that includes you and me, bro, I'm really not so sure we would do half the things we do, maybe even most of the things we do, if it were not for that exact that woman. You know what I'm talking about. The woman. Okay, you just picture. Don't pull it up. It's fine. Think about it. Please don't stay on this webpage, my good sir. But I'm sure if I asked you right now, you picture the finest woman you can imagine. You probably see her very quickly. I can see mine very, very quickly. Okay. It's not that deep. And when you think about this, that's some Yes, bro, that is some solid motivation right there. You know, hey, look, even for guys that, oh, I don't date, I'm checked out, I'm all set. I've never had much luck with women. Look, I'm talking about all the guys where they um just have not had much experience at all with dating or romance or anything like that. That's not the point though, bro. That is not the point. The point is, if any man knew for a fact, okay, that there was a process of some kind, an action of some kind, hard work of some kind, a journey of some kind, okay, a project, self-improvement of some kind, and at the end of it, maybe not even at the end, just during it, like she'll show up if you do it. If you just keep doing it, she gonna be there. Who's gonna be there? Your dream girl, okay, the woman of your dreams, okay. Then you would. It'd be a no-brainer. Okay, 99.99% of men would just be like, okay, done deal. All right. And in fact, I will take this a step further and say, if women were cool with like super basic stuff, we would be cool with super basic stuff. I'm not so sure you'd have all these guys whipping around in the Lambo if baby girl was like, you you got a bike, that's cool with me. There'd be way more cyclers, okay, like couples on a bike. I just think that's super cute. What I'm saying. I think that's just like a really dope scene. My man's riding, and then she like there's enough space for both of them. I don't even know how that works because the seat on the bicycle is so small, but she's kind of holding on to him from the back. What an adorable sight. Okay, all right, look, the point is that a lot of it does have to do with our attraction towards females. Remember, I said fuel to propel you, to empower you. I Hey, look, I know it sounds dope. It sounds very epic, but it's no. I Maybe we can be agreed upon right here. It is not that easy, okay, bro, to like every single day grind for the grind. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, just let me, I will do these calculations. No biggie. It's cool. It's cool. We're just going to go build Rome. It's fine. Just like raise it all up. Okay. All these like crazy, okay, paint the ceiling and like build the statues and raise the Colosseum. And okay. Okay. Yeah. Just like, all right, let us just push the brink of society and its capabilities, into the next era for progress and flourishment and prosperity. Yeah, no worries at all. No, that's going to take a lot out of you. That takes a lot of, well, I mean, all that good stuff. You know what I mean, bro? All the traits and all the archetypes. Okay, you need tons of resilience and you need tons of perseverance, and you need a lot of concentration, a lot of focus. It takes a ton of efforts. You're gonna get uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. Okay, it's downright tedious. Okay, to the point where you were really aggravated. Okay, it's like some days are good, some days are bad. Probably more bad days than good. Okay, but men at the sight of his dearly beloved, he would be willing to put up with all of that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna cut it off right there, and let's bring it back. I don't know why we went to ancient Rome. It's just like what I thought of, and then we bring it back here to modern day, present day America 2025. Okay, with you and me, and like insert my life, insert your life. Okay, and without semen retention, without even the attempt to practice it, so that you can experience these benefits for yourself, then all that drive, all that potential fuel and fire is being thrown out the window. That is actually what is happening. Okay, so that brings us very, okay. If I did that well enough, it brings us neatly into the immediate rebuttal. And so this is very valid because guys will who are arguing against semen retention would say, but then what's the solution then? Sit there and just be horny and just suffer, just like be like vibrating with the desire. Like what do you what is a man to do with all of that, how should I say, passion and heat? It does I mean, it's a struggle because it gets painful. Your brain, your body, really all of you is just like, I need this. I need this. Okay. I mean, well, I mean, in the ways, in the same way that for the human race to have made it to this point, it was really just a long line of men looking at, you know, the woman that chose to be with them, the wifey, and being like, I need you. I really want you. I have to have you. Men, but you see, that's the thing. Like, in a natural sense, that's beautiful. The building blocks of society in the world. But you enter the modern era, the age of the digital. And what seems to be such a nonchalant, harmless, chill habit once or twice a day, okay, I am my own man. I'm not breaking the law. Last I checked, I'm not even going anywhere. I'm in the comfort of my own home. Why? Like, who are you? Like, talking to me. Like, who are you, Kuma? Why are you breaking into my house trying to convince me to retain my semen? Because it is the preservation of a greater version of you that is able to control a desire that is seeking to overwhelm you, because that's what happens in the moment. We do get overwhelmed. I mean, that's why corn use is so rampant. It's growing, let alone just, yeah, okay, it's just like, this is just where it's been, or God forbid it go down. Okay. No, it's going up. And I believe that is a direct correlation to, I mean, what? Male stress, you know, just the burdens of the modern male human experience. Okay. And everything that you and I are called to do, to try and to be that. That's not even really a problem right there. It's not that, oh yeah, okay, let me wake up tomorrow and just transform myself into Chad. Or if you're not familiar with the lingo, which I feel like everyone is nowadays, but it's just, oh yeah, let me wake up tomorrow and just instantly turn into my ultimate version. Super, let me just like grow 5 feet and get, and just, my jawline just magically juts out, and I just start making tons of money. Okay. And I start speaking with a European accent and like whatever. Okay. Just the full transformation. Okay. Into like your individual version of Ryan Gosling, something like that. Okay. No, that's not what's going to happen. But that, I mean, isn't the point though. The point really is that there is a far greater version of you. That is the whole point of self-improvement. This is why I'm saying that semen retention kind of ties into all of it, because it's you being able to control your most wildfire desire, your most difficult to tame beast, your most out of control whim. And there's a lot of power in that. That's the thing. It's more than just feeling silly. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. I just won't look. I just won't look. Even though I just, a couple clicks, enter, boom, boom, boom. There she is. Looking however you want her to look, doing whatever you want her to do. It's actually really crazy in this way. AI is making it exponentially worse. Like, the internet is a magical place. Magical is a tough word. The internet is a, it's a hmm, it's just a place with a ton of variety, and because it's kind of whatever you can conceive, you are able to seek out on the internet. That has become absolutely 1,000, 1,000,000 mega percent true for corn, which really means it's even more difficult to retain. It's I don't care. Well, I mean, of course I don't. I mean, this is the I'm running with a lot of anecdotes tonight on the show. Fair enough, but I really, I don't know about you, man, but I don't buy the science. Not all of it. It's not that. Oh yeah, a guy is maybe going to die, or more likely to die, or earlier. I mean, hey, possibly, but I'm not willing to go that extreme. But I'm also not. I'm absolutely not willing to say there are absolutely no consequences whatsoever. Okay, there are just all sorts of physical and mental consequences, I believe, to engaging with this habit all the time. Okay, where it becomes a habit as the same it's the same as having a meal or going to the bathroom. It isn't normal. It was never. You really think about this fact blows my mind every single time, because you and me have seen more in terms of the lovely female form. You and I have seen more than all of our ancestors combined. Some guys would be like, that's freaking gnarly. And in a way, I can't. No, no, I can't. I can't. You gotta help me out here. I gotta hold my position, so I can't. I cannot concede to the enemy side. Okay, but yeah, you know what I wanted to say. But like, bro, the continued use of it though. Okay, where guys are thinking to themselves, see, the tie-in right here is what go do what? Go try and find who? Try and marry who? Try and be with who? I already have what I need on my screen at home. Is that truly the case, though? Absolutely not. It's an illusion, is what it is. It is a dependency on pixels for the kind of intimacy and connection a man truly deserves with a woman. Now, I know what the alternative is. It's not as though there are a lot of guys that are not attracted at all to the game itself, because Lord knows it's not as simple as walking up to a woman and saying you're trying to get married. Are you, hey baby girl, would you happen to be in the market for a husband right now? No, it's not like that at all. It's a ritual, and there are all sorts of qualifications and prerequisites and requirements that women ask for when you know, entertaining the idea of this guy right here, the rest of my life and his kids. Okay, like just us forever. It's a lot. It's not even that they're unwilling. That is a whole different podcast episode. Not tonight. Not tonight. Okay, you. I might have fired you up right there. It's like, okay, hey, bro, whatever you want to say about that, by all means, you put it down in the comments below. But I'm not gonna. I will digress. I'm just going to say, how about this? Let me tweak it real quick for all the women that are willing to entertain that kind of lifestyle. Yeah, no, but by no means is it easy. You see, bro, it's just what I want you to take away from this is that nothing in life that you want that is valuable, that is very worthwhile to you, none of it is going to come easy. This is one of the most diabolical tricks that corn pulls on you and me. It is giving us an artificial substitute of what could possibly be one of the most amazing parts of your best life, a part of your life that you will never experience for yourself. You will never take the time to at least even make the attempt. You're not, it keeps a guy from trying in all sorts of areas of his life that it needs him to try if he really does want what he says he wants. See, this kind of goes right back to do what? Go where? Chase who? It's it, it's so easy for a guy to say, I don't need to pay attention to any of that. I can just I can just jerk it here at home to whatever I want to see. The difficulty of that truly is you're missing out on the version of you that has been able to master himself. You're able to put yourself in a position of power to say no to something, regardless of how badly you feel as though you want it. Self control, the essence of being able to dictate where your life is headed, is founded exactly on this, which is why I say it's interesting to see your success on semen retention spills over, another pun not intended, spills over into your other areas of your life that require the same components, the same building blocks any man would need to be successful. That is the hard work, that is discipline, that is the consistency, that is able to keep your word. You're able to make a promise to yourself and keep it. Just today, just tonight, just for the next week. I won't. I'm going to retain. And the challenge comes about primordially, comes about naturally because you feel it. It attacks you. It's an opponent. Do you see, bro? This is one of the greatest spiritual fights a man could ever undertake. Now, men who have no desire to engage in any kind of combat in life would absolutely see this as completely foolish. That I can understand. But, brother, if you are a self improver, or if you're a man interested in living your best life, then you're looking for the fight. You possibly you don't know it yet, but you are. Semen retention is one of the greatest tools to exercise, to operate in that fight. It's a whole level of concentration and focus that you've never really tapped into before. That's why I believe it's worth it for any. I mean, it's not. Oh, I swear it off. It's not abstinence for the rest of your life. It can be. It can be. I know some men that would declare it as such. Okay, they are. On a different plane. They're on a different plane of existence. And the only reason why I say that, not to put them on a pedestal, but to say that these guys have, um, mentally speaking, they've made peace with themselves as men who never need it. I just believe that's a level far beyond myself right now. Um, I think my record is 3-4 months or something like that. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I'm proud of that. But for the guys that are years plus, that is something to behold. That kind of control, you know, of just over yourself. It's that you see her, you see something you're attracted to, or you see an ad, or you know how easy it is nowadays. Okay, the thumbnail, like these thumbnails are so out of pocket. Well, I mean, got to get the clicks, right? Okay, you go on Twitch, it's like yo, these outfits are crazy. I'm not complaining. I'm positive you're not either, but it's not helping. That's the thing. It isn't helping. It isn't. It's not. It's not conservative by any means to help a man, right? Be able to wrangle. okay, or just uh, get a grip, another pun not intended, on his the control of not allowing these desires to run wild whenever he's triggered, so to speak. Okay, because that isn't because that's not you deciding to. It's being decided for you. you when you are, if you're experiencing anything along the lines of, oh, I couldn't imagine not tonight, I couldn't imagine not doing it tomorrow or whenever, then it controls you. And if it controls you, that means one thing: ultimately you are not in control, and you should be. You need to be if you're serious about your best life, bro. I have to say that the difference, look, it's not that. So, guys who make fun of this would say, it's like, oh, okay, have fun, because now you're gonna walk around with blue balls. Now you're gonna go everywhere, and you're gonna be gawking, you're gonna be creeping women out, because you can't help but stare, and not just stare like the crazy, like zombie, not zombie, like the Looney Tunes, you know when they see the, what was it, the turkey on the silver platter, or the roasted chicken or ham or something like that, and the eyes get super wide with the drool and all that. No, no, bro, because that's an exaggeration. But it does definitely dial up your desires, and at the very same time, it would then dial up your capacity to be able to fend it off. A cultivation of disciplined strength for a man to exercise in himself. That is the gift of semen retention. That's why I'm saying it's so important for you to try it, brother. I myself personally, what I'm experiencing is just, I just don't feel as though I have to immediately take care of it like I used to. You know how, like, when it hits you, it's like, am I alone? Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If you live with people, it's like, am I okay? Am I good? And I'll lock the door real quick. And then, okay, all right, the next hour is gonna be me time. It's just not like that. It's very fleeting, and you allow it to pass. You don't allow it to take over, okay, to once again dictate that choice for you. I will look at this, okay. And now we'll move away from the, I'm winding down now, I might have to end on this one, but moving away from the physical and more into the mental and the spiritual, is that it may not decay a man on the outside. That's debatable, but it absolutely will decay you from within. And what I mean by that is, a daily user, you know, it's neurologically addictive in the way that it works very similar to, a drug. You do begin to build a tolerance. Okay, so whatever you are attracted to naturally, and it's really not that serious. It may not even be fornication. It may just be a woman you are really attracted to, and she's bearing it all, and yeah, you're just like, okay, this is awesome. And then as time goes on, you give it a year or two, it's not so awesome anymore, and you have to move on to more intense variations. And see, I believe that this is when I call it the twist, because it kind of like twists itself. It begins to malform and spiral down into evil. You get into crazy, crazy things, tastes, so to speak. Okay, like just stuff that I'm not judging. I mean, but this is just my personal belief right here. This is just me. It's just me. But taste in which Men were never supposed to be attracted to stuff like this. You know what is rampant now on the internet, what is so, oh, it's acting, it's fictional, it's not real, you're taking it too seriously. But I mean, animals, what is familial relations, all manner of respectable institutions, okay, like, like the law enforcement, okay, what is it, nurses, okay, it's just like, it's schools, teacher, student, it's it twists everything, all of it. That's um that's light. Everything I just mentioned right there, that's light. If you know, you know. It's not even a good thing to know, but I mean, hey, no shame. There's no shame. I'm not here to guilt you in any way. No, like very much the opposite. The answer, like your counter against this, if you do have the desire to, you want to not look at corn as much, you want to jerk it less, then you have to try and begin practicing semen retention for yourself. It's really easy to say whatever you want, and be fine, and be, like, life is chill, life is whatever, when you are relieved, okay, when you like have no fire, so to speak, what, like burning within you, burning from within. And I know that sounds painful, but see, when it, like, the whole metaphor for fuel, what I mean by that is, so at the very same time, you're never going to be able to control really any craving. I mean, and that's a reach, I admit, because it doesn't mean, a guy watching it all the time. No, 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 it doesn't mean he, you know what I'm saying, is a eats a ton of junk food every day, or addicted to whatever else, addicted to gaming, games all the time, doesn't do anything else, or like doesn't have a job, or no, 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 no. It's not like that. Oh Lord, what did I just come up with right there? A functional jerker, is that what it is? A functional yeah, you can be, but that doesn't change that the one most overpowering instinct has its way with you on a daily basis. To not is to defy that. That's semen retention, bro. To say to yourself, I really want to right now, but I'm just not going to. I'm going to fire up a game instead. I'm going to go outside or something. I'm going to watch, I was going to say watch a movie, but that's kind of dangerous right there. I'm going to watch a action adventure movie. Okay. It's got nothing to do with that. All right. Because movies get tempting. Okay. Like these actresses, it's like, what is this? What does this have to do with the plot? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, all right. Maybe movies a bad example, but an activity that would steer you clear of any, that kind of content. Okay, to be able to do that, is a rite of passage. It's a gateway. No, no, no. It's a pathway to being able to do the same exact thing. The same exact thing for what else? What else would benefit from you applying self-control? Would your body? Okay, maybe the shape of your body, trying to get in shape, a diet, okay, a weakness for certain foods or sugars or drinks or whatever, vices that are genuinely unhealthy for you, drinking, smoking, whatnot, okay, just parts of your life that you've always wanted to work on and never been able to really, feel motivated enough. One thing leads to another. you know You could have a guy that has all sorts of problems, and maybe this is the one thing he begins to get down. Then he starts to have more energy. Then he starts to see himself in a much more positive light. You actually do start building more self confidence because you're just able to trust yourself more. When I say no, that means no. I will not partake. I will not indulge. Okay. It gets you thinking. It puts you in the mindset of, well, what else could I be directing all of this towards? Maybe that would be the gym. Maybe then this would be a skill or a craft of some sort, or a building, of creating a production of something. Okay. And on that road, you really do. I mean, it just, this is where the slow, full transformation begins to take place in a man. And you do more, and you are doing better, and you are being better, and people are taking notice. Women take notice. And these ones are not virtual. I'm not saying semen retention will change your life. I know I'm being really dramatic right now, but it has the power to. Because of what it leads to. Semen retention is one of the best ways to cultivate a new sense of identity for yourself, brother, which leads to what? That leads to the greatest version of you. It is that man that will give you your greatest life. The rewards, the outcomes, the hopes and the dreams, what you are really looking for out of life. That's very bold of me to say. I said this already, didn't I? I will say it again. I think I'm like right in the beginning of week 4. So if I'm making another week, that's a month. Yay. It's tough. It's so tough. My cravings are crazy right now. It's just the fight is, I do have to say, it's interesting. And then I'll be super transparent right here. And then it's like, well, Kumo, when you go out, I mean, my job forces me to. I don't work from home. I go to all sorts of places for my day job. And I work in the heart of my city, very densely populated, right? The capital city, and tons of people, tons of ladies. And it's like, oh, is your head on swivel? Okay. Are you just like, right? How should I say it? Looking very disrespectfully, right? Okay. At whoever and it's summer right now too, which is, oh my God. I have to say, no, I'm taking it there. It's like retaining during the summer is a whole, this is like a hardcore, this is like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What is it? Normal, very hard, veteran, and then like insane mode. This is insane mode. What are these outfits? These outfits are crazy. It's basically not an outfit. Okay. It's like there's nothing there. You pretty much see it all, kind of, in a way. All right. It's like just it's enough. It's fine. It's fine. You know what I mean, bro. It's just like modern female fashion is very interesting. Okay. I know none of us are complaining. It's very difficult to complain. Okay. You kind of walk outside, you're just like, oh my God, like, who came up with this? Like, let me meet the guy. No, 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 no. It's not like that. It's just no. That's what I wanted to say. No. It is not like, oh yeah, I am going, just walking around like a predator, like a werewolf, like some wolf man, like, okay, meat. No, it's actually kind of the opposite. It's very difficult to explain. You need to experience this for yourself. Because you're able to say no at home, that is when you're beginning to say, that is when you're able to begin to say no to anywhere else on this planet. Yes, it is very possible. I know I kind of kicked things off tonight with, oh, when she walks by, how could you not? I mean, yeah, a glance is fine. I mean, don't gawk, right? Don't stare, just like beaming her with daggers. No, I mean, it's like you see her, notice her. It's like, wow, beautiful, and you look away, and it's fine, and it's normal. It's actually a lot. It's smoother, and I believe it's because I'm growing my own personal sense of self control. You can't do that. It's non existent when you are uh, allowing the daily usage of corn in your life, brother. And there it is. And there it is. I believe there really is so much more to say, but that is all I can think of tonight. And I am out of time, so I'm going to end here. That is kind of my deep dive for you tonight. As you're interested, thinking about, as a man, possibly a lone king, by all means, don't go at it alone. You never will, since you know about this channel, and by all means, come back here for more, conversations like this, as I talk about anything and everything that goes into male self improvement. And once in a while, I will to semen retention, and I will, return to this topic. So you're watching the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement surrounding philosophy, masculinity, wellness, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Kumo. I continue to reshape the modern male reality, giving any man who wishes to pull the very best out of himself a way to do that. I thank so much. Thank you so much for being here, bro. You like content like this? Hit that subscribe button for me, and I hope to see you real soon in my next one. Until then, take it easy, take good care of yourself, and I love you so much. Peace.